Dixon inviting you Talk 99.5. It is the 10th of August, 2026, and we've got a beautiful morning. Lots of sunshine out there, drying things out a little bit from all the rain yesterday, but look out. We could have another rain chance today. 40% chance of showers, 90 the high. Tomorrow and Wednesday, 30% chance of rain and a high of 90 both days. So we're not getting that extreme heat, which is kind of nice. Those heat indexes not in the triple digits. It's still summertime, obviously still going to be a little bit hot. We'll deal with that. And again, more rain chances a little bit later on this afternoon. Hope you are doing well. Will, the Chubb father, in with me this morning. Richard Dixon is out and may be out again tomorrow. We'll let you know more about that. But right now, let's check in with Steve because it's Steve's turn.
It's Steve's turn.
So, yeah, based upon the conversation a little bit that was had earlier this morning, the WNBA, they've got problems. They got a big problem with their imaging, and they've got a big problem with their commissioner, Kathy Engelbert. Apparently, she could care less. The league has a couple of things going for it. First, the Indiana Fever, and specifically two of its players, Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, and the fact that they've got a TV deal with ESPN, which potentially puts their games into about 100 million homes or so via cable, satellite, and streaming. But those positives are far being outweighed by their problems. So, first problem. Clark and Cunningham, well, they're white. I hate playing the race card, but I'm going to break it out. Because if you look at the situation that happened over the weekend with Sophie Cunningham being throttled and thrown down to the floor by Dejanay Carrington, she gets a double flagrant foul, gets tossed from the game, and then what does Carrington do? She immediately tweets out white privilege. Horsepocky. You're an idiot. Because if you honestly believe that that's white privilege, let's have Sophie Cunningham throttle you and throw you to the floor the exact way that you did her, and let's see what you think about it. So that's problem number one. There you go. Start off there. This is 2026, folks. This is not the 1980s. The NBA, we saw plays like that. I remember the Celtics playing the Lakers and seeing plays like that. Guess what? You can't get away with that stuff anymore. You shouldn't get away with that stuff anymore. And truth be told, it should be more than just a double flagrant and getting thrown out of the game. It's probably a suspension, multiple games involved in it. Or should be. But no, we just keep letting these two ladies get assaulted, mugged, mobbed, punched, choked, and throttled as they're being. And okay, here you go. Caitlin Clark comes in. She immediately jumps up the attendance at the games in person and the number of people that are watching it on television. What happens when she walks? Because she's done being abused. All those ratings and all of that attendance drops back down. And ESPN goes, why are we paying millions of dollars to televise something that nobody's watching? It won't happen. So, that on top of that, WNBA doesn't have a whole lot of credibility right now. The other big brother, NBA, still subsidizing it to the tune of millions of dollars. I'll get back to that. Well, matter of fact, let's go ahead and get to that right now. I'll explain it as best I can. For many, many years, and think about this, this is year number 30 of the WNBA. 3 decades in now, boys and girls. The WNBA doesn't make a profit, doesn't even come close. From the beginning till a couple of years ago, the NBA was giving the WNBA about $15 million annually from its profits to help prop it up. Well, that's changed now. Now they got this new TV deal that the NBA has signed with NBC, Disney, which means they're covering both ABC and ESPN, and Amazon Prime. And in that deal, because the NBA directly owns anywhere from, depending on who you talk to, 40 to 50% of the WNBA, some $200 million of that media rights deal annually goes to the WNBA. Problem number 2. The unwillingness of the commissioner to put her foot down on exactly who is eligible to play in the league. You mentioned this a little bit earlier, too. We have 2 former NBA players, Enes Kanter Freedom and Royce White, who have publicly declared eligibility for the 2027 WNBA draft. Now, neither player exactly ripped up the NBA in their time. Kanter played for 11 seasons, played for 5 different teams, 2 of them 2 times, averaged over his career just over 11 points, just under 8 rebounds, and just under 1 assist per game. Royce White's a year older. He had a 6-year, quote-unquote, pro career. I have a hard time saying NBA because he played most of it in the developmental G League or overseas. He did sign 2 10-day contracts in the NBA with the Sacramento Kings, not even the team that drafted him, by the way, and racked up exactly 0 statistics to show his NBA time, save for committing 2 fouls over the course of the games that he got into. Engelbert issued a memo to the teams in the league and the players over the weekend after the two of them declared their eligibility and said, quote, "We recognize this is a complex and nuanced topic, and we will continue to have important conversations with all of you in the Players Association in the weeks and months ahead." Really? That's as far as you're going to go? You're the commissioner of a sports league. Folks, Cantor and White are 6'10 and 6'8 respectively. Both of them weigh over 250 pounds each.
Woo.
They kill any of the women currently playing in the league, both figuratively and potentially literally, because the average WNBA player this season is 6 foot even and about 165 pounds.
Wow.
So Commissioner Engelbert, I'm just going to put it bluntly. Grow a pair of whatever the heck you need to grow and become a commissioner and make a dang decision.
Yeah, nobody seems to want to do that, Steve. No one wants to make this. No one wants to stand up and say, yes, let's define what a female athlete is, what a female in women's basketball will be.
Yeah.
This is lunacy.
If you're incapable of making this decision and saying, here's where the line stops,
then get out.
quit
Yeah.
and let somebody else who actually has some intestinal fortitude or whatever it is that they need to make the decision.
It's just, I've never seen anything like this, guys. Never. Yeah, it is crazy. You need to turn your mic on.
I got it.
Okay, thank you. So where do we go from here? They're going to sit on their hands until we get, because are we going to get to this draft? Again, these two gentlemen are proving a point.
Oh, sure.
They're trying to push the envelope on this.
But-
Are we really going to get to the draft
But
and these
somebody
two guys?
has to. Somebody has to push that envelope sooner or later. We have to be able to get to the point where we go to the extreme, push that envelope to find out exactly where this line is, to the point where we all go, you know what? That's too far. Somebody's going to have to do it to the point where we actually start pushing limits and then putting limits in place.
Well, and we were talking earlier this morning. I was saying to Will, if you don't do that, and again, these two guys are probably not the two, but you could have an entire lower tier of NBA basketball players that say, hey, we can go. We're not making any money. We're not even playing for the NBA, but we're that level underneath the NBA players where we could go play for the WNBA and make a little money.
Got a whole G League out there.
And fill every single WNBA slot with a man, with your biological male in every one of those female slots, so that there are no women playing in the WNBA. That's where this could go.
Sure.
If they don't do something about it.
Yeah. And again, this is what a commissioner gets paid money for. You are paid to make decisions. Are all of them popular? No. Look at Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell, to me, is a moron. But at the same point in time, I'll give him credit. He puts his foot down, and it stays. That I give him credit for.
And this one seems super easy. Again, you're talking women's basketball,
Yeah.
biological women.
It's in the name
basketball.
of the league, the Women's National Basketball Association.
And
That's what the W stands for.
And you don't stand for any male that's biological male to say, I feel like a woman today, so I'm going to. And that's literally all they have to do.
Yeah.
They have to just state that they're transitioning, or they want to transition, or I feel like a woman, and now you can start playing in the WNBA and go through the draft. No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
This is crazy that we're seeing this, and it's crazy that they didn't come out as soon as these two said we're going to enter the 2027 draft for the WNBA. Immediately, there should have been notice. No, no males, no biological males are going to be allowed to play in women's sports.
The other problem which is endemic in the Indiana Fever itself, you've got Caitlin Clark, but you got Sophie Cunningham, who goes out there and states that she's supporting women in women's sports, period. Just keep the men out of it. Then her coach turns around, defends Dejanay Carrington over the foul, and then wears a shirt that talks about trans people belonging. Well, guess what? You yourself opened up the door.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
These two just walked right through it
They
because
sure
you
did.
opened it up.
Yep.
And I applaud them. Congratulations. Go push the envelope, and let's actually figure out where that line is.
You know, the silliest thing about this particular instance in this particular game where the flagrant foul happened, as a sports person, that's not even the most egregious foul that was called during that game. Caitlin Clark was shoved along the baseline and bumped into a referee
Mm-hmm.
and was thrown out of the game and given a flagrant 2.
Yeah, which, by the way, the league actually did finally review, and they rescinded because it would have meant her being suspended for a game.
Right.
They rescinded the ejection technically. I mean, yeah, she had to sit out the game, but they rescinded that so that she can play in the next game. Because, like you said, she was influenced. She wasn't even looking. It's not like she looked at the umpire or the referee and just barreled into her. She was running backwards because she'd been shoved and happened to brush up against the ref. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's rough.
You know, and part of the, and I think that it's fair to cover both parts. There was a game last year. I don't remember what it was. Cunningham, who has had beef with various players in the league for various things. It's kind of like the Bill Lambier type situation. You know, last year she committed a foul. It was very, very, very similar to the foul that was committed against her.
Mm-hmm.
She was not given a flagrant 2. The foul was not even called. And in that particular instance, the color of the people were reversed. But part of the justified or not, part of the white privilege comment
Which
in
is
this
so
particular situation,
unnecessary.
it
That
was
so unnecessary.
But part of it stems from the fact that the exact same situation happened last year in reversed order, and nothing was done about it.
Yeah.
So how about we just play basketball, and we play basketball by the rules of basketball, and you call it straight and
What it
even
is, right.
across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe we just take an octagon ring, put a couple of baskets up in it, and just let them go at it.
That's cool.
It's all interesting conversation. You guys text us your thoughts on this whole WNBA thing. We'd love to hear from you. 918, give us a text 545-9950, talk 99.5. Talk 99.5, talk995.com. It's Dixon and Vining. Glad you are with us this morning. So happy about it. Love the fact that, we've got some good friends over at Birmingham Broker, Craig, Keith, his entire staff, and the great work that they do, and we thank them very much for that. And I ran across this story, and I'm like, I'm so glad that I don't have to contend with this anytime I've got something going on or I've got a question. I know that we can reach out to Craig and the guys at Birmingham Broker and ask questions and get answers when it involves vehicles. This story is probably everyone's worst nightmare, and it involves a woman in Lake Charles, Louisiana. The woman said a Kia dealership used parts from her vehicle to service another customer's car without her knowledge or permission, and it was all caught on camera. How many of you have had a vehicle and you're like, I really don't want to take this to the dealership? I don't know why it's crossed my mind many times when I've had to do that. I'm like, please don't take my spare tire. Please don't take, any of the little things that you need in order to change the tire that are tucked back in your car or an accessory. I did have an experience one time when I took the vehicle and there's that sunshade in the back of the SUV. And when I finally got the car back, it was a couple of days, I got the car back and I didn't notice it right away. And a couple of days later, I was like, oh, where's my sunshade? Completely gone. It was taken out of the vehicle, and they claimed that they needed to take it out to do something in the vehicle. Only the service being done to the vehicle didn't have anything to do with the sunshade, nowhere close to it. So I was like, okay, could you please put back? So I had to drive back to the dealership and put back but could you imagine that they're actually taking parts out of your car to service? The woman had a tire blowout. Now, I'm not sure I'd go back to the dealership just for a tire blowout, but she did. She said her vehicle sat at the dealership for more than a month with
on a
tire blowout. So already I'm 1 or 2 days and I'm like, I need the car back today, maybe tomorrow. What's the deal here? But apparently this happened back on June 17th. She had a tire blowout. She said the vehicle sat at the dealership for more than a month with little communication from the service department. Well, I think there's a little responsibility on this lady's part, don't you think? That maybe, hey, you make a call a day or two.
Go get a tire.
It's a tire. Why are you going to the dealership? But long story short, apparently that they were pulling parts out of her vehicle and putting them in other cars. And I'm like, what? So the service manager apparently admitted that he had begun using some of the parts from her vehicle to service the other cars without her knowledge or permission. I guess the person that's over him, the service manager, told her multiple times that no one had touched her vehicle before finally admitting what had happened. Said taking something without permission is stealing, which is what they were doing. And I would say this one actually probably has a pretty good case for a lawsuit.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, no.
She's getting a free Kia at the very least.
And a new
Should.
tire. How
Yeah.
about a free Kia and a spare tire just in case?
Full size spare.
Is that not crazy? I mean, and again, I don't know that you guys ever concern yourself with that, but I've always thought, well, this part in my car is a little newer. We could put it over here in this car. She'll have the old part. And then it'll blow out faster or something will happen. And then you're like, okay, now you're stuck fixing. I remember one time I took my vehicle to have it serviced. Something happened, and I got the car back, and within 12 hours, I had a flat tire. It was a big old nail in the tire. And they were doing an expansion at the dealership.
Right.
And I was I couldn't prove it, but I can guarantee you that probably that nail came from all the construction that was going on at the dealership. Because I was like, but I couldn't prove it, so I was like, I got to go get the tire plugged and fixed, repaired, and I did. But what am I going to do? Go back to the dealership? Oh, your guys did this. It was a nail, and I didn't do it. I was just like, I'll just get the tire fixed. But things like that happen, and maybe you guys don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
No, it's just.
I know you wouldn't go there for a blowout tire.
No, absolutely not. Like, I try to stay away from the car dealerships, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially for the service piece. I had a couple bad experiences with free oil changes
Free,
and
really?
whatnot. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was just like, no. I'm
Did your
good.
car really get the free oil change?
I don't know.
Mm.
Probably not. Probably not. But you know what? Local mechanics, they charge a little bit more, but they take care of their families.
There
that
you
way.
go.
When they want cheeseburgers, they come see me.
That's right.
When I need my car fixed, I go see them.
Sweet deal.
Pretty awesome how that works.
That's pretty awesome. All right, back in a minute. It's Talk 99.5, talk995.com. You got something you want to weigh in about? We'll take a look at text here in just a minute. 545-9950. Again, 205-545-9950. It's Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5. 9:36. Good Monday morning to you. It's Valerie Vining of Dixon and Vining. No Richard Dixon. He is under the weather, not feeling well at all, and we wish him the best. It's good to be back from vacation. Thank you to Will, the Chubb father. Steve West is here. Phil in the traffic center. And you guys this morning, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it and glad you're here. Beautiful morning, lots of sunshine across central Alabama, but expect some of those afternoon showers to pop up. Okay, so what wins? You know, we always do the rock, paper, scissors game. That's always a lot of fun. You played it as a kid.
Spock wins.
Which one wins? Which one wins, the hatchet or the machete?
I think it depends on the length. I think it's not a whole lot different than other things in life. It really depends on the length and the girth.
Okay, so we have two men out of what state? You get one guess. Two
Florida.
men. That's right. Two Florida men have been charged with aggravated battery after allegedly taking up arms, one with a machete and one with a hatchet, in a Publix parking lot. Where shopping is a pleasure, by the way. Can
Is
you
he any
imagine
good at
this?
throwing the hatchet? Because otherwise I'd give a slight edge to the machete.
August 4th, physical altercation happened between this 52-year-old and 35-year-old. Which one are you going with? I think maybe the 35-year-old might be more agile with whichever weapon
I don't know
he
who's got
has.
which weapon.
This was over a love interest, according to the police report. Detectives reported that one of the men was the primary aggressor in the incident. Do you want to take a guess what city in Florida this happened in?
Miami.
Panama City.
Not
The
PC.
Publix in
Not P-
Panama
not
City.
PCB.
Oh, at the Publix.
At
Okay.
the Publix in Panama. Now, you know, you guys, you need to take this down to, you know, what other grocery stores are down there that would be a little bit more appropriate?
Take it down to the Walmart.
Okay, there you
neighborhood
go.
Market.
Oh, you said it, Steve. I did not. So one of them was sitting in his car in the Publix parking lot when the other one approached him and started a verbal altercation. They allegedly returned to their vehicle, came back with a machete in its sheath. He then went face to face with this guy, and the feud began between these two men. They were, of course, upset over this woman. One was used to date one of them, and now he was dating this other guy, and apparently they were quite upset. So, I wish I could show you a picture of the woman that they're feuding over, because I'm like, why are you feuding over this woman? You get where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly
Not-
supermodel style. there?
No, not supermodel at all. Doesn't even really come close to that. So the two men squared up, started swinging the hatchet and the machete at one another. Officers arrived, found one of the men with deep cuts on his pinky finger, exposing the bone and puncture to his lower abdomen. Multiple lacerations to the hand and face. On the other one, the police report shows they told investigators that one of the guys became unconscious when he was hit in the head with a machete. And this is a very lovely Publix. I have been to this Publix. It's lovely. It's bright yellow on the outside, and it's got some rock veneer, brick veneer on it. It's very, very nice.
A little red on the outside now.
Yeah. Now lots of red. And there's an image of one of the guys that he's got an earring, and his glasses are down on the end of his nose. And so, anyways, they both were taken to the hospital for treatment. But could you imagine coming out of that Publix in Panama City? One guy's got a machete, and the other one, what did I say that he had? Machete and a hatchet. Machete and a hatchet, and they're going at it.
So you got the one guy who probably has the machete because he's going specifically to confront this other guy.
Whew.
Who
Yes.
randomly has a hatchet in their car.
Yeah.
I mean, you just never know.
You don't know.
When you're gonna need to chop some wood.
I guess.
I'm gonna turn the picture over. This is one of the gentlemen, and this is the woman that they're fighting over.
Okay, see, it's exactly as I thought. The Gen X dude pulled the chick from the millennial, and the millennial just thought that Gen X dude was gonna just roll over. And
It didn't happen.
it didn't happen. But everybody needs somebody to love. I mean, like, the reality of it is there are some ugly people. Like,
Well, there's somebody for everybody, right?
There-
Not
there
everybody
is.
can be beautiful.
Exactly.
Not everybody's like middle of the road, and not everybody's ugly. But
No.
there's somebody for everybody,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
I just think it's really sad that in the middle of the day, you're traveling in your vehicle to a Publix to confront a guy.
Right.
Thank goodness he didn't have a gun.
Right. I'm very
Because-
surprised this didn't happen at Dollar General Market. And I'm a fan. Like, I wish
What
there were
about-
more Dollar
What
General
do you got
markets.
against something against Dollar Tree? I mean, come on.
It's a little
Are there more Dollar Generals down in Panama City than there are
Dollar Trees.
Dollar Trees?
I would think so. Have you been to a DG market?
Yeah,
The DG markets are like,
I know.
like that's
I
pretty
mean,
all right.
Well, and again, it kind of depends upon what you're going in there
Yeah.
to get. Otherwise, if you're like canned goods, check the date on it.
Right.
Maybe some milk,
Sure.
check the date on that too. You know.
Let me go back to these two guys. All right. So you lose a woman
Mm-hmm.
in Panama City.
Uh-huh. That's what I mean.
Florida.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
dings wrong with this story.
One could call this a fairly target-rich environment.
Ding.
And nobody died and nobody got hurt even for real.
Well, they got a few,
yeah, so I mean, like they
Shots,
they
yeah.
weren't really about that life. They didn't really. They were just waiting for somebody to come break it up.
ding.
They were waiting for
With the
somebody
police
to come break it up.
I mean, you come out of the grocery store, what are you doing? I'm not getting anywhere near. I think it'd be more likely to get closer to somebody that had a handgun than a knife. I don't want to be I mean, I don't want to die from a bullet wound, but I don't want to be sliced with a machete or a hatchet or a knife.
No, I don't want to be sliced. Period.
No.
Well,
Steve.
somebody comes after me with a knife. I'm just saying there's the old phrase of you might be bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah. All right, and then we have this story. There is a guy in Atlanta. I think it's a guy. They're calling him the master of disguise. He's accused of robbing 10 stores at gunpoint during this whole reign of terror that's been going on. The reason is every time he goes to rob a different store, he's dressed in something completely different. And it's very difficult, other than the shape of this person and maybe their eyes. That's about all you can see. In each case, this guy has pulled a gun on store employees and demanded money. He's also allegedly changed his appearance from robbery to robbery, wearing disguises that include outfits resembling he could have been a part of
It's part of the village.
the village people, right? A construction worker, healthcare professional, like he's got some scrubs on, blue scrubs, and a mask and something covering his head. And he's also been dressed as a security guard, which is really
Excellent.
kind of clever. During his months-long reign of terror, this guy apparently endangered the lives of more than a dozen store employees across 10 different locations by robbing them at gunpoint. This person says that they were glad of the efforts of the FBI and local police departments. They were able to finally identify this person. His name is Tracy Darrell Mingo, 33, of College Park, Georgia. He was arraigned Thursday on 20 federal counts tied to the alleged robberies that took place between October of 2025 and January of 2026. Actually, it's pretty smart. I mean, you're not using the same outfit or the same shoes, or, because a lot of times people get identified even though their face is covered. They've got a backpack or shoes, unlike Savannah Guthrie's mother's abductor. I kept thinking they were going to find him. They still haven't. But based on shoes and, sometimes a backpack or gloves, or you've got a particular shirt on, they can start tracing back to where that came from. But if you're wearing something like a security guard outfit, or you've got on, scrubs, it's a little more difficult to find you.
The prison system really needs to focus itself more on rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm.
Because the people who go and eventually get caught for things that they've done over and over and over again,
Yeah.
like criminals, like a lot of them are really intelligent people. They just don't want to work hard.
Well, they're working hard for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you can get to some of those folks when they're locked up and like convince them to like use their powers for good,
It'd be amazing what could
it's
happen.
fantastic.
I'm looking at the image of him dressed as a construction worker. He has a hard hat on. It's white. His face is completely. If I saw this guy coming through the store, I'd be like, security, come. This is, again, bright yellow reflector vest that goes like down to his thighs. He's got black worker boots and some type of dark pants and a bag and black gloves. If the guy's coming in the store looking at that like that, is somebody not go, hey, we might want to keep an eye on him. It's highly unusual.
I would say that there was a time that was highly unusual. I mean, but like, I don't know if you've just gone and people watched lately.
Yeah, it's something to see.
But like you can't. It's kind of
What
harder.
What are you saying? I shouldn't be judging this guy. I'm just saying.
I'm judging.
I'm not saying that
watching.
you should. I'm not saying that you shouldn't judge him when he walks in. And I am 1,000% with you in being situationally aware.
Mm-hmm.
But like, for the way that some of these people step out these days.
Yeah. Here's another image of him in the security guard outfit. Head. I mean, I don't know what he has on, but you can't see anything from here to here. What security guard is working in a convenience store? Or maybe he's not working there. He's just dropping in. But you're not going to be covered from here to here.
No,
you can't see anything.
Right.
He's completely covered.
Yeah, anybody who's got their entire face covered except for maybe their eyes, yeah, I'm going to automatically question what your motives are.
Or I may be headed to the door. I'm out. Something's wrong here.
Yeah, I'm not. I may not even want to stay and find out.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right, we're back in a minute. You're listening to Talk 99.5, talk995.com. 9:52, Dixon and Vining at Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Will the Chubb father gracing us with his presence this morning only because I begged him to come in this morning. Richard is not feeling well under the weather, and so he's been hanging out all morning long, and we really, really appreciate it. Some of your text. Here's one from Christy. She says, my husband and I love Will and Chubb fathers. He's done wonderful things with my husband's line of work and catered our son's rehearsal dinner, took such good care of us. Of course, Christy, we wouldn't think any otherwise when it talks about that. But you
Thank
do,
you, love.
other than your restaurant, some people may not know that, is that you do catering, you do events, you do, and again, what does that menu look like?
It looks like whatever you need it to be.
Uh-huh. So
If it makes dollars, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That is generally my philosophy. And like if you've got a wedding coming up, if you've got a rehearsal dinner coming up, like if you want to spend $40 or $50 a person, I have lots of people that I can refer you to.
Mm-hmm.
I generally don't want that smoke because I generally don't want everything that comes along with $40 to $50 a person. But you give me a bride that has scrimped and saved and has $12 to spend a person or $10 to spend per person, and I have an opportunity to make a few bucks,
Mm-hmm. You can make
and
it
make
happen.
their day worth it.
Yeah.
That's where that's where I want to. That's the space that I enjoy the most is the catering jobs that people, like $10 to $20 to spend. What can you do? And over the years we've had menus put together, and we still do have some like reference type menus put together. But I'd love an opportunity to just, if you've got something in mind, call me and tell me what you have to work with financially, and then let me put together some things that fit into that. We took a deposit this weekend. I'm super excited. It will be the first one ever. Wedding reception for 200 to 250 people.
Wow, that's a lot.
Breakfast.
Really?
Yes.
Well, are they doing it early?
That's
Is
gonna
it
be
kind
kinda
of
fun
like
right
a
No, it's gonna be like 7:00 at night. Eat breakfast.
breakfast?
Yeah,
So we're not talking brunch. We're actually talking about a breakfast
a
menu.
breakfast menu at dinner, like a
that's-
full on breakfast buffet. Like that's gonna be super fun.
That's unique
Um,
right there.
I've done a few seafood boils
Yeah.
where everybody just kind of went and gathered around tables, and we were allowed to just put newspaper down and dump out
dump it.
boils, and the
Uh-huh.
guests just sat around and went at it.
That's kind of messy, but yeah,
it is,
that'd be
but
fun.
I love the things where people think outside the box and they're not so worried about perception and all those things.
The breakfast thing, I've never heard of that at night, and that
I
is
love
a
it.
great idea.
I like it. It's
absolutely
unique.
love it. Yeah.
It sets you out and makes. Let's face it. The people that go to that, they're going to remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's very different from anything
And then
else.
you could
that they've
do
done
like
that.
mimosas and Bloody Marys that typically go with a breakfast or a brunch.
But y'all,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
generally speaking, from a food standpoint and otherwise, like if it makes dollars, it makes sense. Like this is
What
like
you do.
one of my guiding principles.
Yeah.
So if I can find a way to make a few bucks and make you happy, then I'm in.
So give us some idea. Obviously, your forte, the number one thing when you think of Chubb Fathers is the delicious burgers that you have. But if somebody were to call you, yes, you do breakfast because you do breakfast. But are there other things that?
Well, I mean, we
maybe-
have our meat and menu during the day. Is meat, 2 sides and a drink is $13.99.
Okay, what kind of sides are we talking about? Give us an example.
Macaroni and cheese, lima beans, greens, black eyed peas, mashed potatoes.
So is that available every day?
Yeah,
Really?
Monday through Friday. Yeah, and then all of our proteins that are on that menu, with the exception of like today's special is baked chicken. I obviously have to bake the chicken and hold it hot for that. But if you come in today or any other day and you order a hamburger steak or a chicken fried steak or catfish nuggets or whatever else, there's several protein items on that. I cook that protein when you order it. So it's not sitting
Right.
and soaking in juice and whatever. That's part of the reason why we can the next closest person to us from a price point for a meat and 2 vegetables is $17.99
Whoa.
plus a drink.
Yeah.
Most meat and places now, they're at that
They're that
$17 to $20,
And you're doing it for how much?
$13.99. And you can get a meat and one side for $9.99.
Man, you got it rocking, Will. You got it going on. I didn't know that.
Man, it's more important to me to be accessible.
So the whole breakfast dealio, I want you to add something to the menu for me.
What's that?
Corned beef hash.
Got it.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
I cannot find. No one has it. No one does the corned beef hash with maybe a couple of
And we only do
sunny-side
it.
eggs
And
on
we
it.
do it on. We only do breakfast now on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I could not. I tried for 8 months to get people
Well,
to
it's
come in and
hard.
buy
It is
inexpensive.
hard.
Yeah, and they
It
have
is
they
hard.
have their breakfast habits or whatever. But Saturday breakfast has been going really well. And we serve breakfast on Saturdays from 8:30 to 10:30. And our version of the All-Star breakfast comes with a pancake instead of a waffle.
Mm-hmm.
$8.99.
I like the pancake better
Mhm.
than waffles.
Yeah.
That's been a sticking point for many years.
Yeah. I mean,
We can argue that all day long.
You can come spend as much money at the restaurant as you want to.
Right.
But you can also come and eat reasonably, and I don't want to say healthy, but you could come eat healthier. I have options.
Right.
You know, people
What if
just
I
don't
wanted
come see me
like
for that.
a couple of hamburger patties in between 2 pieces of lettuce? You do that?
I don't have leaf lettuce, so I couldn't
Yeah.
do it between. But we have people who come and order burger without the bun all the time.
Right. Yeah.
If you want a keto bun, bring me a keto bun. Bring me I will take a little bit off and to do your whatever it is that's going to fit your dietary needs the best. I
That's
just don't
awesome.
stock that stuff.
Right. I get it. Because it'd go probably stale before you
Yeah.
went through a bag of it.
Yeah.
Huh. Will, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
I hope you have an awesome day. Go see him at Chubb Fathers today. We've got, of course, Andrew McLean and John Bird coming up in just a couple of minutes. And you guys have a wonderful afternoon. We'll let you know about Richard tomorrow, but I'll be back. Steve will be back.
I might be here again.
Phil will be back. And maybe Will again. Have a great day.